and welcome back to another video. Round 3?
Round 3?
Yep, round 3. X Points Monthly.
The
April edition. Today we have Karl coming back with his infamous mill deck.
Yeah.
X Points style. Against Dom
on his deck, right? Domseeker?
Domseeker.
Is it him who called it that, or did the group just come up with that? Do you have any idea? The history?
No idea, but I mean, he's played this deck before. I have actually played against a variation of this deck.
Well, it's pretty much as all-in burn as a person could try to be, right?
Yeah.
Bolt, chain, blast, forks, fireball.
Yeah.
Vice, all.
He's just like, I actually like playing that many artifacts. I probably would have swapped one of the Moxen for a couple of workshops. You know, just to get like early, Black Vice, Anka Mishra, turn 1.
Maybe one workshop.
We did notice, however, I don't know if there was like an adjustment, but I think he actually has 11 points.
Oh yeah, but see, the picture that we had though had a sideboard with a couple cards crossed out of it. There's no sideboard in this picture, so it's possible he changed it around. But the points are the 3 Moxen, the Wheel of Fortune, the Timetwister,
and the Mishra's Factory.
Yeah, so everything that was mentioned before Factory is 2 points.
2 points, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, mistakes like this do happen, but it's nothing. I don't think that'll like skew the deck's strength in this format.
It is damaged though. That factory, that factory is damaged.
I like the.
I wonder. Do you know if the Howling Mines were in the original Domseeker deck, or is that like an X point?
I think that's like an X points thing. I'm assuming with the relic barrier, he's just wanting to have that card advantage. Really,
It does seem a bit misplaced to me to have the relic barrier.
I mean, maybe he's just concerned, like, if there's, like, artifact creatures or so on. I mean, it's not a terrible card to have in a...
Like, with the Howling Mines, less misplaced, but, like, in a burn, if the mind state is I want to be all in a burn, just seems...
Yeah. I just think the Fountain of Youth probably could have been swapped with something else.
But I guess if you're afraid of a lot of decks being aggro burn, you want to have
but maybe like the sideboard, I guess. And we have Karl's
mill. I think the only thing he changed really is there's no power. Oh yeah, the X points, right? There's the Ancestral for 5 points. But I think the only thing that's really different, other than adjusting for the points, is the desert.
Yeah, the desert, probably just wanting to deal with like small creatures attacking.
It seems to be a X points favorite.
Yeah, I've seen it in quite a few decks. I actually like aesthetically looking at this deck. It's like gorgeous, just I don't know, just something about the picture, the cards. It's just like really beautiful.
It's actually funny that you should just mention the aesthetics, because I was just thinking about why he wouldn't put the Divine Offering next to the Swords to Plowshare to have the signatures connect. I was literally just thinking about that.
Probably because the top 2 rows have like the Field of Dreams and the Millstone, so you wanted like the 4-4-4 kind of like top and bottom. And I mean, using 4 points for 4 Maze of Iths, he's really just not wanting to deal with any creatures whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, with 2 moats, 4 Maze of Iths, 4 plows, he's just like
Chaos Orb technically.
Yeah, Chaos Orb.
But even look at the sideboard. The Spirit Links and the Sarahs are also kind of creature. I mean, Sarah could be the win condition in the side, like a shift to a more like pure control, take out the mill cards, kind of. Know?
And it's funny, like one healing salve just in the sideboard.
Interesting. I guess again, also afraid of
burn decks. Probably.
But at that point, do you not just put a 3rd Circular Protection if you're?
Probably. I mean, with the 3 Spirit Links, you got 2 Cop Reds, Cop Black, I believe that is, and I probably would just put another Circle of Protection if you're just really that concerned about like. I mean, I think his biggest thing is probably be burn decks.
The Circle of Protection, remind me, prevents damage only to you, or just prevents damage from a source to like? So I'm saying
it prevents damage to you from a source of that color.
To you though, right? Yeah. So for example, I block with Sarah Angel, your 2/2. You can then bolt my Sarah. I can't Circular Protection them. Okay, so Healing Salve can play that role where the burn player thinks they're baiting the Sarah into a block, and then you block, and then they go, like bolt your Sarah, and then you healing self to prevent 3 damage, right?
Yeah, I would think that's how.
So like, it's possible Karl's up to that. I'm curious if he watches. I want to hear if that's the reason for the sell.
Yeah, it's just an interesting card.
Yeah.
Not a card you actually see too often in old school decks.
So those deserts not going to do much, right?
Oh well, he has the Ancestral, so right off the bat, just really, I could see why he kept the hand. He's like,
okay, the Anka mixture is going to be really good versus Karl. If only Dom went first, right?
Yeah,
he has the Mox.
I think the key is if he plays a land and Mox, then he could play Anka Mishra. So
Dom's deck is kind of ready for Karl, right? Like, there's no creatures for the mazes or the deserts or the plows. Like,
yeah, he's just wanting to burn.
Yeah.
I mean, with the Stormseeker too, punishing him for holding cards in his hand. So
where's Stormseeker?
Stormseeker, the ultimate.
Oh, that's the yeah. I thought there were islands. Jesus.
No. Yeah, so he's like having.
Karl did not play okay. Sorry, yeah. He's.
No, he's got like essentially like 12 burn cards, almost 16, 17 in his deck. So he plays Stormseeker, he has a fork, double the damage.
Yeah. Okay, Howling Mine, okay, right. Okay, because I thought they were islands.
Yeah.
Howling Mine and Stormseeker make sense. And then I guess if you're already at the point of playing the Howling Mines, you might as well just throw a Relic Barrier.
Yeah.
There's also probably a lot of other artifacts in the format. There are a lot of other artifacts.
Of course. So
Karl not interested.
Seeing an Orb flip. And yeah, that looks good.
So a disenchant on the Ankh, and then so that's pretty crippling. But at the same time you're a burn deck, so
yeah.
Maybe you don't care.
Even if that card does 4 damage or 2 damage.
Honestly, if I'm Dom, I'm pretty happy to see the desert because your blue-white control opponent didn't play a colored mana source.
Yeah. So now he's got the relic. So we'll see.
Yeah, that feels a bit bad now, though.
Yeah. No Howling Mine, but I mean, he's got 4 in the deck, so I'm pretty sure.
I think I hold up the Sapphire, unless you got 3 burn cards in your hand. I think I hold up the Sapphire to represent anything blue. Unless you only have 1 card in your hand. Well, especially if you only have 1 card in your hand. Oh yeah, most 2 is blanked. Jeez. Even the sideboard doesn't feature any creatures. So like, most of Karl's deck is just. I'm pretty sure this is just probably accidentally like geared for a Dom matchup. I wonder.
But I mean, Dom has played like I said earlier, variations of this deck, so it's pretty. It's not like he specifically went out of the way to.
So yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's like accidentally geared to beat.
So I probably would see Karl putting the Cop Reds in the sideboard, probably taking out the deserts, or at least 1 or 2 deserts.
That's true. Dom's gonna have to deal with an enchantment. Very hard for his colors to do.
Okay, so.
Ancestral.
Karl playing the Ancestral.
Finds him a counterspell. Again, Dom happy to see that maze. It's pretty, I don't know. But Dom only has 1 card in his hand, right?
Yeah, so he's going to have to be in top deck mode, essentially.
Karl's got 6 cards in hand.
I admire Karl's, he's constantly trying to make the middle deck work, but you seem to have other opinions about that.
It works for him, he makes it work.
So now he's got 6 cards technically, because 3 were with the Field of Dreams. He has to show them, but the other 3 are.
Yeah. Karl lets the Black Vice resolve. I think that's probably okay, right? You're playing a land almost every turn. You can play them once you have 6 lands. You can play the moat and hold the counterspell if you so choose.
I mean, if you're not wanting to take damage, probably play the maze and moat just to get some cards out of your hand. Yeah.
But City of Brass takes the damage that he will prevent next turn, right? So kind of unfortunate when you're in the face of a Black Vice and you have to dump your hand and you've got multiple City of Brass. But a Plains off the top will be good. Yeah. So Karl not interested in getting side blasted, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, well, 4 damage is 4 damage, so...
Yeah. But... with the information being available to both of them, it's interesting. It's going to be an interesting little...
yeah.
Back and forth little tease. But I feel like Dom's in a better position because he can chain together multiple cards that Karl's going to want to counter. So,
yeah.
And the last one, like maybe with all that mana, I would... Oh, Karl just takes it. Okay.
He decides to take it, which I find...
Well, I wonder what do you think he's waiting to counterspell then?
See, now, like, Dom has, you know, a chain, so he's gonna... Karl's gonna draw a mill next turn. Probably play it, try to mill the... But if Dom just keeps drawing burn spells, I mean...
But I'm just looking at the deck list. I mean, I'm sure, I guess Karl doesn't know exactly the deck list, but what are you trying to counter? The Stormseeker? The Fireball, maybe?
He's probably scared of, like, Fireball.
Yeah. Look, maybe not countering the Psyblast is okay in some situations, but if it's going to put you to 3 where you die to, like, 80% of the burn spells...
Yeah.
Maybe that's when you counter it.
Okay, he's holding... Yeah, so, I mean...
Oh. Flip, and so like now he's going to counter the Stormseeker, but the Stormseeker is going to only deal 4 damage, which is exactly what the Psyblast did. Oh yeah, well you have to counter the Lightning Bolt. If you're still at 7 here, does it change anything? I think it does, right? Because if you're still at 7, you counter this. You have 3 cards in your hand, and then if they Stormseeker you go to
1.
Go to 1. Yeah. Or 4.
It's just mill against burn is really rough. Yeah. So at this point, like Karl does have a lot of options to sideboard.
Yeah.
To really optimize his chance of winning in this.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, now you're also concerned because you're like, okay, if I take out all this creature stuff, is the guy going to be like a bait and switch kind of like just, okay, I'm going to dump like a bunch of creatures like Atog and all this other stuff where he could just sack his artifacts to swing in for...
That's true, eh? He could adjust... There's definitely a justification for 4 Togs.
I maybe would take out the moats. Because I'm like, okay, he's probably going to put something, you know, like, there might be Ruck Egg, but I don't see that coming in, like, as being in Karl's position. So I think I put in the Cop Reds. I'd probably take out a couple of moats. Probably even, like, one maze.
How about the Blue Blasts, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can even put a couple of Divine Offerings or Sarah Angel.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, is that, again, Dom, having played his deck before other iterations, just also has a downside, right? It's possible Karl knows exactly what Dom has, and he's just going to take all the creature stuff out.
Yeah, possibly. That's true.
But also, I think he has to... But that's the thing, there's so many cards for Karl. If he takes the creature hate out, he also probably should take the mill stuff out, no? Like, is mill really winning faster? Does he think he's getting a mill lock faster than the burn guy's going to win? I don't know.
Oh, it's hard to say. Well, Karl did put in
Divine
Top Red.
Yeah, Divine Offering is good.
Actually. Yeah, Divine Offering is good for sure. I mean, even the Blue Blast.
Dom probably boards in Red Blasts, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't see him needing to put anything else, really.
Oh, wow, so that's a turn 2 circle.
Turn circle. I mean, Dom's just sneaking into damage. He's probably gonna, because I think he drew 2 bolts in his opening hand, so he's just gonna bolt them for 6.
Well, he could rely on Psyblast, Stormseeker, Black Vice. I was gonna say Black Vice and Ankh Mishra. So yeah, and also getting in 6 damage underneath. It's pretty nice for the burn player. So pretty nice for the burn player. And then Karl loses more life. Jeez, we're already at 13. Like, if we tap out for something, and then you just get Psyblasted or Stormseekered, right? It's pretty rough.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got 1 mana for a Cop Red.
Yeah, but how dirty, right? Psyblast right now? Oh, we said go.
Yeah, so no.
I think I want to play at sorcery speed when my opponent has the circle in case, and also playing counterspells. Unless they don't play more. See, like, or at least then do it on the upkeep. You know? Oh, because he said go, so this is the end step, but...
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. Could be, you could lose that 4 damage if they would have played. If Karl played an island or something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Karl doesn't let it resolve this time. I don't know. Interesting. I'm not really sure what Karl's trying to do if he keeps the. I think that's just a problem. Is there's too many cards to take out that maybe he just has to keep the mill game plan, because like there's really just so many cards.
Unless he takes out the mill plan and he just goes heavy on the Sarah's, control Sarah Angel.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he does this,
that's a double black.
Well, I think Karl had a disenchant, so he's gonna disenchant obviously one of the.
Okay. So Dom doesn't get to live the dream, but still pretty good, right?
Yeah, I mean Karl didn't really have much in his hand, so I mean.
Well, now Dom has to hope that Karl doesn't get any more disenchants or anything to play sorcery instant speed. And another black vice. Wow.
Oof. Yeah. Wow.
Okay, so that's what is that, 6 damage?
6 damage, unless
So now it's 4 damage. But Karl's gonna gain some life.
I'm not sure what he's targeting. Probably one of the black vices, I would guess. Yeah.
But then he should gain a life.
No, he did move up.
He was at 10, wasn't he? So he lost 4 because of the black vices, but then he didn't gain a life.
No, he had 10.
Yeah.
So on his upkeep, he would use the Divine Offering. So he'd have 6 cards in hand.
So he would lose 4. So it goes to 6. And then Divine Offering gains him a life, no?
It's true. Unless he was at 9. Possibly.
Well, anyways, I think 6 or 7 life, but you probably still died of the same things, right?
Yeah.
Side Blast, Stormseeker, Side Blast. Black Vice is still a threat. Timetwister. Karl can Divine Offering his own Felwar Stone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, Dom just.
But if he does that, then he leaves himself open to burn spells.
Yeah. True, and also Dom just not caring at all about the grindstone, the millstone. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Stormseeker.
Yeah, it's not a red card.
Wow.
It's 4 damage.
Absolutely.
And then Karl has 5 cards. None of them. Oh, well, he has Divine Offering, so he'll have to use that. Yeah. Black Vice. Now he gains the life. Unless I missed it and he did gain the life. I don't know. Maybe he had 11 or
maybe.
Whatever. You said
or
9.
9, yeah.
We're online. We're online. Does Karl come back from this? Is that what happens here?
Well, we'll find out. Maybe he's just trying to get enough mana to play like a Sarah Angel comfortably if he has it in his doesn't seem like he has it in his hand though.
But yeah, I guess if Dom only has red burn in his hand and now the top card is revealed, Karl can stop him from at least drawing something that wins and hoping that the next cards are like the third card down is not good enough to win.
I mean, now Karl could like selectively mill.
Yep. So like he doesn't care about Black Vice. Yeah. So Karl is definitely in the winner's position right now. Oh, a second millstone is
yeah, there you go. So
really
that's.
I wonder if there's a point where Dom just concedes. It might be too early. I guess there could always be that turn where no, there's so much lands in play. I can't imagine a turn where Karl doesn't have enough to activate both on his end step. Oh.
See right there I would like mill. Don't want him to get any removal.
Yep. And burn. Nope. Oof.
Okay, so you let him draw. Counterspell.
Yeah. It's that flip right there that
it's like there's like
play that deck that Karl's playing is like there's no control over that card.
But I mean, like the mill deck, I feel like at a certain point, there's like a point where it could really start to gain ground and then just take over the board state. So
I see Relic Barrier is weird because it is a threat for Karl, but at the same time, it's like, oh, okay, this is all end step. Yeah, if you can mill on the end step, then any of my fears of that deck go away because like then you're in complete control. But as soon as you have to do it on your turn, no good. Red Blast hits the yeah. See, that's like that's not a burn card, but Karl has to mill it. The Red Blast.
Yeah,
which is unfortunate because that might force him to have to mill in his main phase. But now again, he's not. It's always the end step, so it's good. Healing Salve.
So healing Salve, now you can gain a bit of life.
See, I don't think you have to mill that on. Like you don't have to play anymore.
I think now he's just trying to deck him. I just think that's what. Yeah.
Gain 3 life, right? Also, that's another application. Just gain 3 life.
Yeah, just gain 3 life. Oh, the mana drain. Yeah, it's not looking good for Dom right now.
No, now you concede, I think, if you're Dom, because it's like Karl has the counterspell, plus you see a second one, and you're not exactly being allowed to draw. So like now you can concede, I think, and just go to the next game.
Yeah, then Side Blast, Stormseeker. I paste 2 more.
It has to be mill, and then on my turn I have to mill.
See, now he could just mill again.
So like Karl has to mill, and then it has to be like a card that Karl has to mill, so another burn. So yeah.
Yeah, so now he can let him draw the strip mine.
Yeah. That card needed to be a burn card. Yeah, I think good.
Yeah,
good for Dom.
Dom realized, okay, this is...
There's no point. I'll just go first in the next game.
You probably had like less than 10 cards at that point. Healing Salve.
Yeah, it just gains 3 life. Sometimes you don't. But at that point, it didn't even matter, right? Like, Karl had such a control over the game.
No, but it just puts him out of, like, Side Blast range. Because it brings him back up to 5 life.
For sure. No. Once he got to 5 life, nothing was killing him with 1 card. Which is why Dom could concede at that point. But also at the same time, he was already in so much control over the game that Dom was never casting...
Can we just take a moment to like appreciate the amazing artwork of Healing Salve? It's fantastic.
Are you making jokes or are you being serious?
Yes, I'm being...
Because like the background is nice, you know? Like the red background is nice.
I wonder what Garfield like says, okay, I want you to draw something. Just draw me something. Okay. Go.
All right, so Dom going first in game 3. Not interested in that experience again, I'm assuming. So he wants to win as fast as possible.
Yeah. Well,
so turn 1 land Mox. Well, no land Mox, but
see if you had a Mox with the Ankh turn 1.
Yeah,
that would be like really good.
Really strong,
yeah, because like Karl would be taking like 4 to 6 damage easily because he needs to play.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
I wonder if Karl, like, you know, instead of playing 4 Mesa Viths, he should have probably just taken up 2 and put like a Mox Pearl, or Mox Sapphire.
Yeah. Well, if you're playing Mana Drain, Counterspell, and Ancestral, I would put the...
Yeah, Mox Sapphire, preferably. Because, I mean, all your white spells minus the moat is 1 white. So, you know, you could literally play a Tundra and then have a Swords turn 1. So... I think that probably would have, you know, then he could have put an extra card in because it's still a land drop. So it's kind of like hindering, like, you know, if you're trying to get ahead, it's still taking up a land drop. So I think the Sapphire would probably have been the better.
But like 4 Desert, 4 Mazes making a statement, right? Like, that's like... All right, Ankh is good. I think Ankh is good. Leave the red untapped. Yeah. Karl has to disenchant. He's taking 2 at least. Ankh, if it deals 2 damage, is not a good card. If Ankh deals 4 damage, it's a very good card.
Well, even if it does 2 damage, it's like pay 2, deal 2 damage. Okay, it's not a bolt.
It's the best that they have, kind of, I guess. But
for an old school card, and it kind of like then makes your opponent hesitant. Okay. Do I play 1 line and take 2? Do I play 2 lines and take 4?
Oh, that's a good combo. right?
Oh yeah.
Black Vice encourages you to play cards. Ankh doesn't encourage you to play cards. So.
Well, Karl's not having any of that. It's playing the disenchant. Just
Yeah. Okay. Well,
okay.
All the hate. The hate is all real. And gaining 2 life. Yeah, gaining life is very good versus burn. Did you know? Did you know that?
No.
Okay.
No. He probably cited in the 3
Spirit
other divine offerings.
Oh, yeah. Well, Stormseeker on the draw. Take 5. Okay.
I wonder now if this card will see more play because of this video.
Which card?
Stormseeker.
Stormseeker. Oh, maybe. He's had some good success.
I never really played with it that much, but I would imagine it, against control decks.
Yeah.
If you're playing a deck with some sort of green in it.
I mean, look, you go turn 1. Imagine you go on the play, turn 1, land Mox, Serendib, free. That thing attacks on the next turn for 3, and possibly on the next turn for another 3. And then, maybe not anymore after that. Somebody plays a creature that just kind of, stalls your free, or they just plow it so it doesn't even get the 7 damage. If you go land Mox, Stormseeker on the first turn.
It's 4, though.
Oh, it's not 7?
Yeah, it's 3. It's 3 and 1 green. 3 colorless, 1 green Stormseeker.
Oh, it's 4. Okay.
Yeah, so you have to...
Okay, well, that's less likely then. All that rambling.
Or if you do...
I thought it was 3.
Or if you do land Lotus,
Land Lotus, yeah.
Stormseeker turn 1, deal 7 damage. That's pretty good.
The always faithful land Mox.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Let's
just...
So this time, well, it's only target, but let's not have any mill.
I'm really surprised Karl kept the maze.
Random mills. Oh, well, that's what I mean. He has so many cards to cut. There's just so many cards to cut. It's so crazy. 4, 6, 10, 14.
I think my plan would have been probably to take out, the moats and stuff, just to go in heavy on Sarah Angels. Sarah Angel and then mill. So you have, plan A and plan B.
Mm-hmm.
Even the tomes against a burn deck seems kind of slow.
Dom's got a lot of lands and not a lot of cards that say deal damage when you play me.
Dom right now I think needs a Wheel of Fortune or a Timetwister. But Karl is just right now also just playing a lot of lands but not doing very much. So I think both players are just kind of top decking and...
Oh, Karl also only has 1 card in hand. Okay, I didn't notice. Are they both lands?
I think they're both lands, yeah.
Oh, okay, him playing the maze confirms because I saw the planes. So Dom goes 3 damage. See, at this point, if I'm Dom, I hope he's not waiting for Karl's end step to do burn things, because now we're... Oh my god, yeah. Okay, well, it's okay because Side Blast and Stormseeker's garbage.
Stormseeker now is pretty much pointless.
But, geez, Dom.
But I mean, Karl doesn't have mill.
Oh, Fireball? Side Blast? Okay, well.
Wow, that's just dirty.
That's not red, so...
I didn't see that one coming at all. Wow. Wow, an amazing match, considering Dom just snuck in there and was able to deal 8 damage in 1 turn.
Yeah.
So
just came under. That's what I mean. Maze of it's so unfortunate versus Dom, right? It's really that's so dead. Doesn't even land drop. Doesn't even tap for mana. Doesn't do anything. Literally, it's the most dead card, right?
For this particular matchup, yeah.
Yeah.
I just think that.
Well, even Desert in this matchup. Here, we're gonna see.
Well, but at least Desert, it's 1 colorless mana. It does provide, some sort of mana source.
But yeah, there's just so many cards to cut and also potentially bring.
Okay, so he did bring in Sarah Angels.
He brought 8 cards, 9 cards.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's what I kind of figured. The Copper Reds, the Divine Offering, 3 Sarahs, and Healing Sun. Which kind of makes sense. I think I would have probably gone that route. But, I mean, Karl tried once again. Almost got it to win, but I mean, game 3 he just kind of fell a little short. He didn't have the Millstone. He wasn't able to lock the board state in time.
Yeah.
Just took a little bit too much damage.
And then Dom had the burn that didn't care about Circle of Protection.
Yeah, the two, the Stormseeker and the two Side Blasts, so just really skirting around that cop red, which he was probably anticipating seeing in sideboard, so that's why I think was probably a pretty good choice for his deck.
Well, good stuff, and on to match 4.
See you on the next one.